Welcome back to the PHLY Eagles podcast. Joined now by Fletcher Cox. Fletcher, first of all, how you feeling? How's everything? How's the body?
Body's feeling. It's feeling. Late in the season. That kind of feeling. That late season December push to try to make stay fresh and feel fresh to get ready to battle in and out of these games.
It is the middle of this brutal stretch of the schedule, no doubt about that. I want to ask you a little bit about the sort of the play-by-play of last week for you. You suffered the groin injury the week before, no practice all week long. You're questionable, and then you go out there and you play a full game. So, what is the process like throughout the week? I don't know if you don't want to give away any secrets, but take us sort of through what that process is like.
The process obviously, they diagnosed it, in the middle of the game, and I tried to come back and play. I thought I could. Went out there for the first play. I was like, oh man, maybe I can do this. Second play, made a move, and I was like, no, it's probably not smart, to try to finish this game. I was in that much pain. And
is it a pain tolerance thing, or is it like your actual you can't move around as much?
No, you can't move around.
Yeah.
It lets you know that it's there and it ain't going nowhere.
Right.
I got the MRI and they told me everything, and so actually after the game, I started treating it before we got the news for the MRI. MRI, groin, whatever. All right, doc. Let's get to it. And I can't thank our athletic staff enough, especially Steve Feldman. I had him there Tuesday morning before, almost when the sun was coming up, treating. And we was meeting, and I'm asking, you think there's a chance I can play? And they was like, we don't know. We just got to see, what happens. And me knowing myself, I don't like missing games. So me and Steve basically camped out in the training room until Thursday. And on Thursday, I felt like I can go out. I felt good enough to go out, probably try to move around a little bit. Figured I'd be sore on Friday, but even after moving around, I got back in the training room, started back treating getting treatment, and just stayed on top of everything. Friday rolls around, a little sore, but still wanted to go out Friday and see how I felt and if I could go with that. That's what kind of actually would be the texture. Did some stuff, ramped up a little bit, maybe covered probably 1,700 yards on Friday in a little workout that I did on the side. So felt pretty good. Saturday obviously sore, and Sunday I told Howie and those guys that Sunday morning when I got to the stadium that I thought I could go. I felt like I could go, and I did, and I actually felt good.
In your time here, there really haven't been that many players who did not practice during the week and played on Sunday. Typically, if you're not on the field Friday, you don't expect them to see them Sunday. Is this kind of being a 12-year guy where you have that relationship, like you said, with the organization where you can push to play? Is it because of your durability? How would you frame it?
I think that the biggest thing is that it was all that plan was really all put together last week by the head coach and the training staff. They figured they could get me to Saturday or Sunday and let me see how I feel and not have a setback on Friday by practicing. But there was a plan they put together. Obviously, they trusted me, and I was still focused on the game plan. I attended the walkthroughs. That way I can get those mental reps and be able to go out and play. But is it different not practicing and all week and playing on Sunday? Yes, it is. It took me probably the first quarter to kind of get in sync. Get my hands back to attacking and getting off blocks. But once I trusted it, the groin, I knew there was nothing that I could do to mess it up during the game. And I went out there and I went for it.
And then pregame, I was watching you. You're having a catch. You're loose before the game, so it looked like there was no question before the game. You felt good about playing.
Yeah, my confidence was up after that my pregame warm up. I did my same exact pregame warm up I normally do every game with Coach Wash and Scud. Everybody know I throw the ball, which is part of my warm up. I start sweating, it's part of my warm up, and I do my drills, and that made me very, very confident after I did that, where I knew where I would be during the game.
Best arm in the interior defensive line room?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. yeah, I'm throwing dimes.
Now, you mentioned that it's like a full organizational effort to help you get on the field on Sunday, right? You talked about the guys in the training room. Another person behind the scenes is a bit of a celebrity right now, and that's Big Dom after what happened in the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
For the people who they only know him as the security guy who's always next to, Nick Sirianni on the field or is picking up guys at the airport. How would you sort of explain what he like his importance to the organization, what the kinds of things he does.
I mean, his importance, you know, he means a lot to the organization. You know, he's been around for 20 plus years, you know, you know, Dom, you know, everybody in the building got Dom's back because, you know, he got our back. You know, he take care of the players. You know, if guys need something, you know, getting around the city, you know, create, you know, meeting people, shaking hands, you know, not only that, but, you know, Dom also obviously, he cares about you, cares about your family, your well-beings, where you are mentally and physically, and he's there to support. And, you know, everybody love Big Dom. You know, he's definitely a big celebrity around the city now, and, man, we couldn't be more proud for Dom right now.
You
I mean, there
talk
are not
about
a lot, no, there are not a lot of guys in the building who have been here the whole time since you were here. It's like him and Howie, right? In terms of like on that football side.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. You know, him and Howie, they've been here the whole time I've been here, and you know, Big Dom is Big Dom. You know, he gonna take care of us. You know, he gonna make sure that, you know, the guys that's in that locker room, the coaches in that locker room, any other staff, you know, even if the T-Roy and the, you know, on the, you know, the janitor side, you know, Tony.
Shout out to T-Roy.
Yeah, shout out to T-Roy, shout out to Tony, you know, always in the locker room. He gonna have everybody's back, you know. That's the way it should be. You know, a guy that's been around the building for a long time, and you know, we got to show him a bunch of love.
I heard a story this week that he literally took Nate Herbig to get his driver's license, right? So he does a lot of like different things for players. What's the best Dom story you can share?
That
you can share, I think, is an important qualifier here.
Nah, man. Like, you know, the best. I mean, we have a lot of fun with Dom. You know, when Dunny Jones and John Dornbus was here, we used to all go in his office with him and sit in his chair and eat lunch. Well, his biggest pet peeve is, you know, leaving crumbs on his desk or on the floor and stuff. So we used to do it on purpose, and it was just about do it like, you know, every other day to kind of mess with him. You know, to this day, I still go in there with like, you know, maybe a muffin or a cookie or something, like with no paper towel, just like let crumbs all over the floor. So he's snatching paper towels out of his drawer, you know, just trying to, here you go, trying to give them to you to clean it up. But that's the type of stuff of respect we have for him, and you know, he's like having fun too.
That's very funny. Let's flip it to the game a little bit. Obviously, not the outcome that you guys wanted in the middle of this very tough stretch. They come in and sort of put it on you a little bit. Given all the buildup, to this game and like the lopsided nature of the score, and like the amount that they were talking throughout that game, is it any harder to turn the page to the next week than like a regular loss that didn't have quite so much buildup?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of them games where, you know, yeah, we lost. Yeah, they scored, you know, they scored 6 drives, scored 6 touchdowns.
Right.
You know, this is a type of game that allows that you take it and you learn from it. You know, and from my perspective, as I said after the game, you know, as defense, we didn't do nothing right. You know, we didn't tackle, we didn't cover, we didn't rush the passer. You know, there's so many things that we didn't do right, you know, that we've been doing all year. But, you know, me being on this team and knowing the guys that we have, knowing that where the focus would be this week, it's so important. And I know, like, it started yesterday in the meetings, and, you know, guys get honed in on what we need to do. You know, we know what we didn't do right last week, and I expect everybody to respond from it.
You've had bad losses that have gone in different directions, whether, you know, I think back 2014, you guys lose to Seattle, and it kind of set you back thereafter. 2018, you guys lose to New Orleans, and then you go on a big run, you know? How do you know kind of how a team's going to respond off of a loss like that?
Just the attitude. Everybody in the locker room on Sunday kind of they knew what we didn't do right. They knew that we're a better team than what we put out there on Sunday. You can tell the you know, the awareness and that's in the locker room after the game. You know, there was no big rah-rahs. There was no, you know, guys pointing fingers at each other. There was no somebody yelling at a coach for not doing this, not doing that. Everybody just like, okay, we just took it under the chin, guys. Now what do we do now? You know, and that's the way this organization is built. You know, the organization is built like that. You know, you take losses, yeah, but you know, on Sunday we took a pretty good beating, and like I said, we got to learn from that.
And is there, you know, you've got one game at a time, all of that stuff, but is there in the back of your heads, like we'll see them again? Like at least we hope we'll see them again.
I mean, a game like that, you know, back in like I said, Zach just said, you know, he said 18. You know, we get down there and get embarrassed, you know, and it was like, okay, but for us is, you know, it wasn't especially being at home, right? It's one of them things where we like I said, we took it under the chin and we got to respond. We get a chance. The good thing about the regular season is that we get a chance to go play next week. We get a chance to go on the road, and really good teams find ways to win on the road, and I think we've done that, a lot this year. We had one road loss this year, but good teams find ways to win on the road.
We've talked about this stretch that you're on. It seems every week it's a team that's going to be in the playoffs. What's it like living it? What's it like, when you go from Dallas to Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco. Now you got Dallas, Seattle next week.
You got this Monday Night Flex out of nowhere, which
every week
I'll say it so you don't have to say it and get in trouble. Like ridiculous by the NFL, but
yeah, I agree. I can't say that, but I can support what you said. They're not making it easy for us.
Yeah.
They're not making it easy. We just play the teams with 10 days rest. Now we get to play another team with 10 days rest. We're coming off of, 2 4:30 games, a Monday night game, guys playing 80, 90 snaps, but there's no excuse, right? It's the reality of being a professional. And we just gotta, embrace it, and just, keep finding ways, and there's light at the end of this tunnel somewhere. We just gotta, as a team, keep having success and have fun with it.
You mentioned those snap counts in passing. I know that we've sort of joked that this is like a question that you always get as a defensive lineman as your snap counts rise. But it does seem like, especially the guys on the outside, Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick, are playing a higher percentage of snaps than they have in years past. It's not quite the 50-50, 60-40 rotation we've seen in years past. What is your opinion on that? Do we make too much of that? Is that as long as the guys feel good, it's okay? How does that all work out in your mind?
I think the biggest thing is it's always the flow of the game, how the game's going. And I think the whole coaching staff, they make decisions on that, on how the game's going. And sometimes, me, myself, I get caught up out there in a 7-play drive, and I don't mean to. I just kind of get caught up in the moment and want to get off the field. But that happens. That adds those 3 or 4 reps. And they adds up pretty quick. Next thing you know, you look up and you're at 60 reps. And it's like, man, I need to dial it back a little bit, kind of just to stay fresh and be dominant in the fourth quarter.
The big story this week is Shaq Leonard signing. You've been a part of a lot of high-profile players coming in, whether it was Julio this year, last year, Sue, Linval Joseph. You can go on. What's the process when that type of player who's going to have to contribute comes in the middle of the season, late in the season?
It's always good. It's always different, But this year is actually pretty. It'll be pretty good because I walk in this morning to do some treatment and do a little cardio, kind of do my normal Tuesday routine, and his locker's right beside mine, so I think they put him right beside me. So that'll be good, to get him here and kind of get him update. Any questions? Honestly, I've been around long enough, around the building long enough, around the city. Any questions and stuff like that he need help with, I can answer that question for him, but. He's gonna be good for us. I'm happy. He came here, and he's only going to add more character and leadership to this defense and team.
All right, last thing I want to do, Fletch, is you had to play against Javon Hargrave on Sunday. A guy you played against so much. We know Zach has this encyclopedic knowledge of your career. I want to see, let's go back and forth. If you can name all of the defensive tackles who have started for the Eagles over the course of your tenure with the team. You can obviously go first.
All the defensive tackles that started
at least one game.
Benny Logan.
Benny Logan is I believe number 2 on the list behind you. So there you go. He has the most starts. Zach, go ahead.
Well, then I'll go Javon because he just mentioned that.
Javon Hargrave. Okay. Now there is a guy who played one more game than Javon Hargrave over the course of your tenure.
Timmy Jernigan.
Timmy Jernigan is the next after Javon Hargrave. He's got 27 starts.
So I'm not going in order here, but Bo Allen. Yeah, Bo Allen did start there.
Go ahead. Bo Allen, he had 8.
Cullen Jenkins,
16.
I'll go Derek Landry to stay in that.
Derek Landry, 7.
No, I'm about to say, yeah, he was. Let me see. Cedric Thornton,
45. One more game than Javon Hargrave.
Yeah.
Let's go Isaac Sopoaga.
7.
I'm gonna go with. I'm missing somebody. I have played with so many teammates.
You got a couple current guys you could name.
Yeah, I'm about to go Jordan Davis.
17.
Okay, I'll go Jalen Carter then.
Jalen Carter has not started a game.
All right, yeah. Okay.
Once.
Jalen Carter.
One. He started one.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay.
Against Buffalo.
Okay.
He has one start.
Okay.
You got him out there.
Didn't have him on my list. There you go.
All right, some current
That
guys.
makes it 22.
So one more current? Is a couple more current guys?
There's a couple current guys.
Defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Dang, who am I missing?
There's two. One you should. Well, I mean, they're both guys are in the room.
Milton
Milton's had 11 starts.
and
Marlon has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many are left?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
There's 9 left. Did Clifton Geathers start?
Clifton Geathers did not start.
Okay.
No.
Ooh.
Big Cliff, 6'8", 3'6". Yeah, he was.
Now from
Brandon
last.
Bear? Did he start again?
Brandon Bear started one.
That's
Brandon
a good
Bear
one.
did start one.
That's a good one.
I'll give you some of the rest of these. Now from last year, Linval started.
Okay.
some
Oh,
games.
okay. Yeah.
Haloti,
Haloti.
Malik Jackson.
Yes.
How did I forget Malik?
Now and then we start getting to the lower level guys. Hassan Ridgeway,
Yeah.
Destiny Vayao,
He did. Yeah.
and now we have the guys with just one. Bruce Hector.
Hold on, stop. Let me get to that. I'm gonna go Bruce Hector.
Yeah.
Trayvon Hester.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Raekwon Williams.
Yes. Raekwon Williams. That's
Good work. Good work.
And then the last one is Contavious Street. who had
Yeah,
won.
Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had when you started naming Bruce, I was like, all right. Now stop. I know this. I remember what game this is. All the young guys
I
played.
can't believe the Raekwon Williams
And
one. That's a
Raekwon Williams
good
got
pull.
a sack.
That's right. I remember that.
Yes, he got his first sack. Yeah.
And Trayvon Hester, of course,
Yep.
one of the big plays in Eagles history.
Yeah.
Getting the fingertip on that.
Fingertip
the
on
double
the field
doink.
goal,
So
yeah.
there you go.
Yep.
All right. Good stuff, Fletch. Shout
you.
out to Raekwon Williams, who we hope is watching
Yes,
this
sir.
episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. We look forward to talking to you again next week. Good luck on Sunday against the Cowboys, and back with more on the PHLY Eagles podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.